are live. NBA Rundown Time brought to you by RunPureSports.com, the best in daily fantasy and sports gambling information. And I got my Monday crew with me working on a holiday. I appreciate you guys joining me here today. Tyler, we were ready for our 9-day vacation. I had all these plans, and the Boston Celtics said, no, like that girl trying to go to rehab. Just not going to happen here. Now we have a Game 7 tonight. Game 6 was exciting. Another winner for the subscribers of Run Pure Sports, right, is we had the Miami Heat +3 in Game 6. And you know what's funny? I was leaning towards the under, and it didn't get there. Game 6 traditionally goes over. Goes under, but that one went over. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. JC, great to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Haven't seen you for a week. Give me your thoughts on what's going on in the National Basketball Association.
I'm upset. I'm upset about a lot of things. First and foremost, I'm upset. Did you cut the intro short? That music gets me so hyped and so ready to do the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Helmut to switch it. I think it should be the electro beat.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. It really gets me going. But man, I mean, last week we put to rest all the NBA conspiracy theorists, and now not only are they back in full force, I might be one myself. I mean, after what happened at the close of Game 6, and the fact that now that we're looking at a Game 7 officiated by Tony Brothers, John Gobble, and everyone's favorite Scott Foster, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I did not think we'd be here, but we are. So we're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be here either. Let's give credit to the Celtics. So Tyler, I was laughing when Marcus Smart threw up that shot. I said, your season's on the line, and we're doing a Marcus Smart fadeaway from like 3 feet behind the three-point line. But it ended up working out for them. What did you see in that Game 6, Tyler? And are you surprised we're here talking about some NBA today? Because I'll tell you what, I was planning on having the day off.
Yeah, definitely planning on having the day off. And I'm in the same boat as our guy, JC. I mean, really don't remember those games back in the day spread when the Kings and the Lakers played with some of those foul calls in Game 6. I mean, if I watch Tatum dry hump the air one more time and get a foul call when nobody touches him, I'm going to have a brain aneurysm. So tired of that, tired of these guys being able to throw themselves on the ground. The whistle instantly gets blown. Miami goes down the other end. They get thrown on the ground. Refs just look at them, tell them to get up, keep playing. So you see which way the game's definitely getting ref. Miami grabs the lead at one point. You get a 4-point play rewarded to Boston and the ball. So, I mean, it's clear that they want Boston, Denver. So Miami's trying to beat 2 teams tonight. So it'll be interesting to see. And then Derek White with the tip in when they added an extra, a second and a half to the clock that just appeared out of nowhere. So there's different things we could talk about here, Spread, but it's not really basketball.
Oh, come on. Okay, so conspiracy theories aside, I mean, that was a pretty generous call for Butler to go to the line for 3. Wouldn't you? Right?
I mean, he was behind the 3 line, so in the end, Boston's coach would have messed that up because he challenged it.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about coaching. Because Eric Spoelstra was the greatest coach of all time, and Joe Mazzulla was terrible. What happens now?
That's the other reason why I'm still on the quote-unquote conspiracy side of this series. What the hell happened from halftime of Game 4 up until now? It's almost like you walked in the locker room and was like, you're taking his role now and you're going to suck. And he's taking your role now and he's going to be the greatest coach ever. It almost looks like they've switched places.
Well, it's almost like we just say that coach is great if his players are better.
I don't give Mazzulla any credit.
You don't? I mean, he made the proper adjustment. First, the most overused word in NBA playoffs discourse is adjustment. But yeah, switching to one big, they've been able to match the Heat, and they have better players at that point.
I feel like Tatum probably told them to do that.
Which is funny because I thought that the reason Tatum and Mazzulla had a rift was he wasn't playing Robert Williams. That's just what I read. Go ahead, Tyler.
They just keep showing Brad Stevens in the stands at all the games. You know he's got something in his ear, and he's got a little walkie-talkie. He's telling Mazzulla exactly.
That I buy.
I mean, Riley did that to Spoelstra in 2011. What's the difference?
I mean, shit happens, but it's just he didn't do it to Spoelstra. He did it to Jeff Van Gundy. They kicked Jeff Van Gundy out, and then
but I'm saying when Spoelstra became the coach, Pat Riley was a heavy influence on those game plans.
Oh, I mean, yeah. But Missoula just doesn't miraculously figure out when to call timeout spread. Like somebody else is telling him, all right, now it's time to blow a timeout. Like call timeout right.
Maybe he's not as bad as you thought.
No, he's definitely as bad as I thought.
All right. Jimmy Butler is the most bulletproof player in the NBA because if any other
the Himmy thing's dead. I don't care what anybody says.
Any other player has a performance
just like
that,
his best buddy up in Philly, who had the same opportunity versus the same team. Him and his buddy Joel Embiid, both guys had the chance to eliminate Boston in a game 6 on their home floor. What did both guys do? Spread faded underneath the bright lights. They might as well just be on the same team.
If they're on the same team, they probably would have won. JC, boy. We got some hot takes flying today, and it all comes down to whether or not Derek White makes that tip in, right? Because don't you think our discourse is way different? Oh, Jimmy did what it takes to win in spite of a bad shooting performance, right? I mean, he hit the free throws when it counted. So
the only guy that deserved credit for that game, if they would have won it, was Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin's a stud.
Second best player on their team right now.
Bro, did you remember after Game 3 they were saying Bam Adebayo was the top 15 player in the league?
They were trying to say he was the third best center in the league.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Seriously,
you'd rather have Bam Adebayo than my guy Domas Sabonis? Unbelievable.
I'd probably take Victor over both of them, and he hasn't even stepped foot on an NBA court.
Well, of course, yeah, we're taking Victor over everyone. But
did we ever get an explanation for the 3 seconds on the clock?
No.
Yeah, the Worldwide Wall put one out. I didn't watch it because I didn't care, but I know that he explained it. They explained it. I just didn't care.
Did you guys see that the NBA is investigating Eric Lewis for Twitter accounts ran that talk about the NBA refs?
Yeah, and they should. You're not supposed to do that. Even though I don't think he really said anything wrong, but you can't be going on Twitter arguing. I mean, like, come on. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm going to make a burner and start defending myself here, Tyler. I'll be like, spread pick sides. Leave them alone. When you see NorCal guy 777-644-4444 backing me up, you'll know what's happened.
And can we stop putting Kyle Lowry on the floor? I mean, he is terrible anymore. He had game 1 where he looked great, and ever since then, he just looks like a deer in the headlights every time he's out on the floor.
I'll never. Kyle Lowry to me is forever in my mind now. When Kurt broke it down, saying he's a little midget jerking off all over the floor with a big butt. Oh man! All right. Well, I want to build a lineup tonight too, and I know we're not the experts, but we got to build some showdown lineups here too tonight. But let's dive into tonight's game. Let me pull up the current lines. I'm surprised. I thought that under was going to get steamed, Tyler, and I haven't sent it in the Discord. But it hasn't been the case. It has not been the case. It's been about even. The total is 204. The Heat are plus 7.5. I'll save my side for later in the show. But we're going to start with you, Tyler. What are your thoughts on tonight with Miami Heat at plus 7.5, total 204? Heat plus 256 on the money line.
Yeah, I mean, it's a spot where it's like it's either you take the Celtics or I think you just wait and you just bet the game live, because I'm not sitting on a Heat plus 7.5 ticket and Boston's 3-point shooting wakes up and then I have to watch them just make every three while Miami just dies in the dirt. So it's Celtics or pass for me. I think they're just going to walk out on the floor. Their 3-point shooting will hit again. Tatum will have a big game. Everybody will act like none of this ever happened. And then they'll go lose to Denver in 5. So I'm going to pick Boston, and hopefully I am wrong at the end of the night. Miami wins.
Denver in 5, huh?
I mean, 2 back-to-back game 7s. Denver takes game 1 on Boston's home floor, flips home court. Boston gets game 2. Denver takes both on their home floor. They can give them game 4 and game 5. It's over. Or game 6.
I would think you would go Nuggets in 6. It seems like the road team wins in 6 a lot. JC, tonight's game, the Miami Heat are plus 7.5. How do you approach this?
I have no idea. I mean, I've been racking my brain since game 6 ended. I don't know if you guys saw, but I got Kurt at the beginning of the series, gave me plus 450 on Miami to 1. Felt great about that. So I got that future sitting out there. But I've also lost money betting on Miami in games 4, 5, and 6. So I kind of got to do some math here, figure out how down bad I am. Because, I mean, looking at that money line and knowing I can just lay 2 units and make it all back on Miami is mighty tempting. But I don't know if I'm prepared to bet against Boston. Like, seeing how Game 6 went, seeing the officiating crew, seeing that it's in Boston, I have no clue what to do tonight. And hopefully you guys can help me make a decision by the end of the show. But it's just I'm down so bad because of 4, 5, and 6. I gotta, I don't know. I think my only option is to just put it all on Miami tonight because I'm sure as heck not laying 7.5 on Boston. I like Tyler's idea of waiting for the game, maybe make a live bet. But I don't know. It's a real tough
what
spot.
do we, if we had to set a percentage on it, what's the percentage Miami walks out on the floor and just blows this team out? 5?
20.
Do you think there's a 20% chance that they walk out on the floor and just dog walk them? Just
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like 60.
Yes.
I don't think there's that chance that Miami does that. But
Okay.
there's a couple different thoughts going through my head with this game. It's like that you went off the buzzer beater. You didn't think you were going to win. You come in flat. Or do you ride that momentum here? And is Miami just beaten at this point? There's so many different ways you could look at this.
Well, the other thing, too, is like I trust Vegas. Why on earth is the line 7.5?
Because when Boston wins, they blow teams out.
Yeah,
I
they
know
just-
that
they
they
just
pulled
pound
that
them.
off. But for the most part, they've been the biggest front-runner team in the league this year. They had the highest net rating in the league, which means they had the highest margin of victory because they didn't have the best record in the league.
Okay, but it was 2.5. Game 6 in Miami.
Yeah, so 5 points for the home court. You flip it, right? 2.5 each way.
In a Game 7?
To me, I think the Heat is the side. I wouldn't lay the 7.5 either, but I would say if Boston wins. Okay, how about let's do this percentage, Tyler? If Boston wins, so our thing is Boston is the winning team. What's the percentage of the time they cover? Might be 60 or 70%. That's why this game's so tough.
Yeah, and do we really think Boston's going to shoot 7 for 35 from 3 again?
Maybe. There's a lot of pressure on them.
There is.
What happens if they
there's
get
pressure,
down by 10? You know how that arena is going to get.
There's pressure on both sides. Like now the pressure is even. Like it went after Game 4, the pressure was on Miami to end this.
Right.
Now Game 7, it's like you could either be on the bad end of history or you could just end Boston. So it's there. The pressure is on both sides of this.
It's the 7.5 that's screwing me up. If this was like a 3-point spread, I'd be like, okay, it's going to be a close game. I agree.
Well, that's why they won't put a 3-point spread because they have 90% of the money on Boston. They had to put a
I'm just
number.
saying. I would easily take Miami if Boston was favored by 3 points. The fact that Boston's favored so heavily was really making me overthink betting Miami.
See, I think it's just when Boston wins, they blow them out.
But let's just say it was even money. Say it was, 1-2 points. Are you going to bet Boston?
Yes.
How many points does Miami have to get up in this game to go to being the favorite on the live line?
At what point of the game, though? At any point, if they're winning during the third quarter, if they're ahead, Boston's going to be like -2. Assuming they're only ahead by 1 to 5 points.
Yeah, see, I'll just wait it out and see if Miami could just keep this game somewhat close going into the fourth. If they're
How
there,
much do you think the first quarter matters? And that's
it matters
one.
a ton. I mean, Game 5.
I think so too.
Game 5's first quarter, you watched it and it was like, this game's over. Like I told my buddy that we were watching it. He's like, oh, they'll rally back. I'm like, this game is over. We could turn it off right now. The outcome is always going to be the same. Boston's going to win.
Yeah,
you have to establish it in the first quarter.
Yeah,
I almost have to bet Miami out of principle. I'm not saying it's advisable, but I'm not gonna go down.
What's the principle that we're following here?
Just that I'm down like 4 units, having bet as much as I have on Miami, and it's like I'm not about to lose another unit by flipping now. So I'm almost just gonna take the big bucks, stick with Miami, maybe lay a double unit. But I don't know. Like if my life depended on this, I have zero clue who's actually going to win this game.
I would say your principle there is that you're not going to change off your priors. And that the idea was that you handicap the series to start. You put a lot of time into it, and you're not going to let what you saw in Game 6, which could have gone either way. I mean, Is there any game that's been in the epitome of a coin flip? I could tell you that game was a coin flip. It was 50-50.
That game shouldn't have been a coin flip, though. If Butler or Bam
Butler
shows
didn't
up,
show up.
all they had to do was show up a little bit, and they would have won that game. It just puts them in a bad spot. It reminds me of Philly last round. So I think Boston's going to catch fire at some point in this game.
I think Miami's got so much more heart than Philly, though.
I think they do, too, but I don't think they have the talent. Like, do you trust Gabe Vincent, we'll leave Kyle Lowry out of this. Do you trust Gabe Vincent, Max Struss, Duncan Robinson, and Caleb Martin in a Game 7 on the road with a trip to the finals?
Caleb's a baller.
What about the other ones? They're all going to have to play 30-plus minutes.
I think that's why this game is tough. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I know everyone's going to hate this because this is a gambling show. I think this game is the epitome of you don't need to bet on every single game. I think that if you found an edge here in the chat, I'd love to see it. Because I think we find edges during the regular season all the time, Tyler. Well, I love our plays. I think the line is off by a lot. And I think that's why we've been so successful on the NBA playbook at runpuresports.com. Become a member. Use that promo code SPREAD15. We'll do a better job of actually tracking so I don't have to do the math in my head. But I know we're up over 40 units on the year. And what are we now on the month now, Tyler? 24-9?
Yeah, 24-9.
What do we think the odds are Boston wins but Miami covers?
40 on all. So what? Okay, let's start with this. What's the odds that Miami win? If we were
I
to
think
go,
it's like 50-50.
Okay, then
I think
according to
it's
you,
like
there's value on the
70-30.
money line at plus 256 because the money line's giving us about a 36% implied probability.
Basically, I want to just lay 2 units on the money line, but like at 7.5. I mean, I don't know. Like that's just too juicy. Like I got screwed in game 6. Had I just bet the spread instead of the money line, I would have won. So I'm also kind of burnt on that.
Levi says every game that Boston has won this playoffs has been by 8+ points. And of course, we're not counting game 6 in that stat.
I didn't get a chance to verify this stat before I came on, but supposedly in games this season, Brothers and Foster have officiated. Miami is 0-10 straight up and at the spread.
Okay,
Boston has a great record with Scott Foster too.
The only reason I kind of hate those is Boston's one of the best teams, so they should have a great record with every single ref.
That's a good point.
When you have like one loss with that ref, though, it's like it's tough.
All right. Do we want to talk more about the game, or should we talk about some player props? What are you guys thinking?
Do we talk about the total? Because I think that's intriguing.
All right, let's go to the total. What do you think, JC? 204 is the number. I thought this was going to drop. I thought this was going to get hammered. That has not been the case.
Wait,
This is 203.5.
Hang on. Sorry, I'm on like a 10-second delay here. Every game that Boston has won this playoffs has been about 8+ points. They just won by 1.
Yeah, except for that last one, though. I think.
But anyways,
you might be right. I don't know.
Basically, I don't know. I lean the over. I just like the games that it's gone under. It's been such a crappy performance from Miami with them not even breaking 100. I think they break 100 tonight. So I lean the over. I was curious what you guys thought.
Let me pull something up real quick. Tyler, talk about it real quick.
I mean, everything's going to tell you to take the under here. I haven't personally clicked that button yet.
You just should. Because,
I mean, yeah, just trends point towards it. This game should be a rock fight. But, I mean, JC's right. Like, we could see Miami get up over 100, and if they clear 100, this total is going over. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Right. What's their team total?
I think someone's headphones got some clicking going.
Totals. 98.5.
All right, so in Game 7, this isn't as high as I thought. Game 7's the under is 29-21 over the last 50.
I don't know. I think you just take Miami over 98.5.
Yeah, okay, here we go. But let's take out round ones. If you take out the 14-11 in round ones, the under is 18-7 from round 2 on in a Game 7. And even though it doesn't matter for today, I just read that it's 4-0 in the finals. So, but those are historical trends, and we know that each game is its own individual entity. So I guess we're opposite here. I guess we are opposite. I love the under. I love it. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think this game is going to be so physical. I think it's going to look like Knicks Heat of the 90s. I think they're just going to be banging each other. Is he trolling me here?
No, he's trying to troll me, but he doesn't realize you're on the Heat because he was late to the show, and I'm on the Celtics.
Oh, he's going to be upset then.
Yeah.
Is he a Celtics fan, or did he bet on
Yeah,
it?
he's always in my mentions on Twitter. He's one of Travis's little butt buddies, I think.
Travis Mangone?
Yeah,
He has friends?
I think so.
I thought he was married to the game. No
Maybe he
days
has a
off.
few.
When's the last time that guy took a day off?
Who knows? Probably like
Him
5
and
years
Rubio,
ago.
man.
Oh, Rubio's
Yeah.
been killing it. Rubio's on fire in every sport. NBA,
I say it all the time. You got to spend the money. You got to spend the money that you're winning. You need to have fun in life. We're not doing this just for the thrill of winning a bet. The money it spends. All right. Chris says, feels like both teams hold the ball for a good shot. That's why I go with the under. All right. Back to your ref trends. Scott Foster and Tony Brothers. Heat are 2-13 in games ref by Foster over the past 2 seasons. That's bad because the Heat are a good team. You see what I'm saying? When you say, oh, Boston won with these refs, well, they won with every ref.
But it goes back to like 2020 spread.
But
I
still,
wonder why.
they were the best team in the East last year.
Yeah, they had the number 1 record in the East.
But it was all postseason.
So part of me wants the Heat to win, but part of me wants the Celtics to win just so the regular season matters, right? All that work we do in the regular season, right? When everybody's focused on Monday Night Football, JC, and you're kind enough to join us, and we're breaking down an NBA slate with all the Twitters talking about, the Monday Night Football matchup and, those Saturdays that, we want to be outside enjoying the weather, but we grind this NBA. I would love that's like the main reason I want Boston to win is just so the regular season matters. I'm also going to be rooting for the Nuggets in the finals regardless, though, so maybe I want the Heat to win so the Nuggets have home court. Let's dive into some props, Tyler. The first one I gave out is Caleb Martin over 2.5 3-point field goals made. It's pretty much I like the points over too, but the points is up to 15.5, and it's minus money. On this one, I got plus 136. So he's gone over that in 4 of the 6 games this series. What do you think of Caleb Martin? I mean, so I love his overs. You're not going to be able to talk me out of it. But do you like me getting that plus money on the threes, or should I play it safe with just the points? Points is set at 15.5.
I like the plus money on the threes. I mean, he's been shooting a lot of threes, and he's been hitting them, so he could definitely get up to 3. I think of the role players on the Heat, he's the most reliable, so like that prop.
Is he even a role player anymore?
I think he's still a role player.
I think he's part of the big 3. JC, what do you think? Over 2.5 threes, or should I go with points, or is it Caleb's night off?
No, I like that. Like I forgot who made the point. Whoever made the point about Chris, about both teams hold the ball, get the good shots. I think that's what it comes down to. I think both teams, are going to be hitting their shots. I think it's that kind of a game. So I like that.
All right. Let's see. What else do I got? Tatum set at 31.5. This correlates to my under. I like looking at unders here. I'm going to play under on Jason Tatum. He's gone under 31.5 in 4 of the last 6 games, but he landed on like 30 and 29 twice, so he's been close. He's averaging 27.8 points per game during the playoffs. Any other good stats here? No, that's about it. But what do you think of my hater bet taking the Tatum under?
I can't bet an under on a guy who's going to play 42 to 48 minutes tonight spread. They could score 85 points and he could have 50 of them.
I don't think there's a huge edge there. I like the Caleb Martin play a lot more.
I put it in my article today. I took Butler over, but I said if you like Boston, you got to take the Tatum over. And honestly, there's a good chance they both just cash their props.
I mean, there's 5 or 6 guys that are all going to play 40 plus tonight, maybe more.
Yeah.
JC, I want to read that article. Where can I find it?
Oh, that's a great question, Spread. Yeah, so if you head on over to runpuresports.com, man, I put out articles every day. I've been killing it in NHL streets. We're up something like 11 units on the month, just killing it. So those you got to pay for, but all my articles are free. I do a little bit of everything. Just did my first French Open article today. Prize picks I do a lot of. I just think those are great because pretty much every state at this point, you can either gamble or do prize picks, and those plays afford you the opportunity to do both. Hitting great success rate. I apologize, I don't have the number off the top of my head for y'all.
JC, I want to get in on that NHL winning, but I'd also like to get 15% off my first month. How could I do that?
Even better, with all the money you've made from my free bets, you can just use code Zargo15, sign up, and get yourself a whole lot of winners. It's a great time. I mean, what's kind of cool is I know a lot of people, they kind of like their own bets for like football and basketball, but we head into the summer months. You still want to win money. You got like me, Susie, Spread, JJ doing tennis. That'll go all summer. We got the boys doing NASCAR and baseball. Tons of great stuff going on, and you can get it all 15% off using code Zargo15.
All right, I got another player prop here. Remember, runpuresports.com, the best in daily fantasy and sports gambling information. Tyler, I found an over here, but it correlates to my game going under, and that's Bam Adebayo over 9.5 rebounds, right? If I think the game's going to go under, I think there's going to be a lot of missed shots. I should give Bam plenty of opportunities. He had 13 in game 6. What do you think, Tyler? Should I go over on Bam Adebayo, the guy that can go between a role player and he just flishes between a role player and a top 15 player, depending on the night? What do you think?
Yeah, I like that one. I like his rebounds. There's no chance I'd bet his points. I mean, the dude misses little gimme hook shots at the rim over Grant Williams. Can't bet his points. But we think it's a rock.
Well, he shot 25% from the field in game 6. He was 4 of 16.
Yeah, it was terrible. So definitely like his rebounds. Can't bet his points.
All right. How about this?
What was the lineup?
Talk about. Go ahead.
What's the number for his rebounds?
9.5. Yes, you
can. Yeah, easy money.
How about this? Have you seen that meme where the guy from Always Sunny says, "I'm playing both sides so I can win"?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're throwing up there. Yep.
Heat Team of Destiny 2023 says you got to take the Celtics. He can't be wrong. What's up, Robert? Good to see you. All right. Let's see what else I got. Duncan Robinson over 8.5 points. You think he's going to just keep firing? He had how many he had 13 points in only 20 minutes in game 6. It should have been more, boy, if he would have hit some of those wide open ones. He had 18 points in the last game in Boston. He only played 7 minutes in game 1, but if you go from game 2 on, he's averaging 14 points per game. And he's over 50% from three-point range in 3 of the 4 games. Duncan Robinson over 8.5 points. That's essentially just betting he hits 3 threes. What do you think?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it doesn't even have to be 3 threes. The dude's getting to the rim at ease because they all worry about him shooting the 3. So he drives to the hoop. If you can find an assist number on him too, say at like 1.5 or 2.5 at nice plus money, I'd bet the over on that too. I mean, you see him drive and kick. The dude's actually a pretty good passer, it's looked like in this series. So if you could find an assist number on him too, I don't hate that.
All right. What do you think there about my Duncan Robinson play there?
Yeah, I mean, the dude's been on fire. I don't hate that at all.
All right. What else did I bet? I took Jimmy Butler over. Why did I do that? Oh, I took Jimmy Butler under. I messed up there. That was another hater bet, but I already know that you guys aren't going to like it, right?
He's playing all 48 tonight. He could miss almost every shot tonight, and he still might get up over 30 just because he's going to be on the floor the entire time. And if he gets all the ticky-tack foul calls, he's going to just rack up free throws.
All right. What do you think, JC? I think you're going to like the over. Actually, you already wrote about the over, so I already know what you think. What about Marcus Smart over 1.5 steals? I stole that from Kurt.
I think that's good. I think Smart and Brown. I know one of them has been like killing that prop.
All right, Tyler, that's my props. What props are you looking at tonight?
I mean, I was with you on the Duncan Robinson one. I like the Butler over. And I mean, that was the only 2 I pinpointed right now. I haven't really looked at anything else yet.
All right, I'm putting that Duncan one in right now since you guys agree with that. Okay, cool. What props did you have, JC?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Tatum over, Butler over, and then I do like Bam double. Like Tyler said,
that's basically
been
my
inconsistent.
bet.
Been burned on that, but double I think is a safe move for him.
All right. Let me see. Did I already bet that Caleb Martin one? Okay, let me throw that one in there too. All right, so there we have it. We're mashing through. You want to talk about any other NBA stuff, Tyler? I see we got a coach for the best player, maybe the second best player in the world. I don't know. Who's better, Giannis or Jokic?
They got who'd they hire?
Adrian Griffin.
Is that an assistant from up there? Is my guess.
He's an assistant from Toronto, I believe.
Okay. We'll wait and see how that one pans out because I know nothing about that man.
You'll probably be talking crap about him.
I think they should have hired Nick Nurse. The biggest problem with Giannis has always been they don't play him enough minutes. He always gets pulled. He plays like 38, and he won't. In the playoffs, they wouldn't ramp him up all the way. So it's a guy like Nick Nurse will get him to play 45 minutes in a playoff game.
All right. Yeah. Any other NBA news? I'm trying to think. There's a couple other minor things that I didn't really care about. Okay, great. I guess it's time I got to pick a side.
You guys see
Is there anything else I left out, Tyler?
Again?
What's up?
Lonzo's never playing again, and they're saying it's because of his shoes.
That's not a surprise.
Yep. It's a shame, though.
Yeah, I liked him a lot better than LaMelo.
He was the best of those three.
But I think Lonzo could have been on a championship team. I don't know if LaMelo can unless he's like a sixth man, Jamal Crawford type role. And I don't think they'll give him that. I think they think that he's better than he really is. Yeah, that's too bad. All right, well, let's do it. Let's give out the best bets. Side total prop. What are you thinking, Tyler?
Mine's just going to be the Celtics minus 7.5 spread. It's all I got right now, and if I make a live bet, I'll let people know on Twitter and the Discord.
All right, and where can I find that Discord, Tyler?
It's on runpuresports.com. Sign up using promo code Tyler15. You'll get 15% off your first month.
Excellent. And it's not the regular season, but during the regular season, you drop those crazy parlays in there. Those are so much fun. So take advantage and get involved with that. Of course, right now, using Joey's and JC's handicapping, you're going to be able to pay for your subscription during the summer months. And then once football season starts, the NFL playbook will be back. Expect to have another great season with that. And then, boy, it's gonna seem like a long time, but I swear the NBA is gonna be right back here, right? It's gonna be like we get like a month off. We'll start our NFL previews, and then it's just like the NBA like creeps up on us in week 5. So, JC, best bet for today. Side total.
I'm just going with it, man. I think this line's insanely jacked up. So I already laid my double units. I'm taking Miami plus 240.
Wow. Okay. I was going to be a chicken and take the plus 7.5.
Yeah.
But we talked about it before the series, and even though I thought Boston was going to win, I thought the line should have been between plus 200 and plus 250. It was all the way out to plus 448. So I already basically have a ticket on the money line tonight at plus 448. I'll go with the plus 7.5 as well. That'll be my best bet for the show. And we do have a total up on the site, runpuresports.com. Use that promo code SPREAD15 if you do want to become a member. So, guys, a little quicker show today, but we've talked about this matchup for a long time now, right, Tyler? Like how much more?
There's only so much more we could talk about this series.
I hate to be reductive, but it really comes down to who shows up, Jimmy or Tatum, right? I mean, the role players are great, and the coaching is great, and the adjustments are great. But if Jimmy imposes his will on the Celtics, they're going to get the win. If Tatum plays that Game 7 like he did against Philly, I mean, it's over for Miami. And what do you think if Miami does lose tonight, Tyler? What's going to be the narrative around that team being the first team to blow a 3-0 lead?
They'll get a pass because they're an 8 seed.
Yeah, definitely.
Jimmy just gets so many passes.
He gets a pass. There's only one guy that doesn't get a pass in the league spread, and his name's LeBron James.
Well, I think, too, it's a situation.
What do you mean? They were killing Tatum after the first 3 games.
I mean, not as if he would have got swept, maybe they would have gave him some shit. Yeah. But he was catching more shit for last series when he was no-showing those games. I didn't see much Tatum slander in this series.
Embiid seems to get a pass because everyone thinks it's his coach's fault every time, even though he always no-shows in the playoffs.
He ain't getting a pass anymore. He did get a pass because of the injuries and stuff, but he didn't get a pass this year.
It's kind of like LeBron with those early Cavs teams. Like, Embiid's done so much with so little, but yeah, I think it's finally coming to a head.
Is it really so little, though? I think he's got a good team around him. I mean, James Harden's the top 50 player of all time. Former MVP. He's a baller.
They did it was a who you got in 7-game series. It was the 02-03 All-NBA first team versus this year's All-NBA team. So it would have been Luka, SGA, Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid versus Kobe, T-Mac, Duncan, KG, and Shaq. I said the 02-03 team sweeps them.
Yeah. Shaq would have like 45 points a night.
You could have took Tim Duncan off that team and put high school LeBron in at the 3, and they still sweep them.
Bro, Shaq would make Embiid look so stupid.
You could replace Embiid with Jokic, and Shaq's still going to dominate.
Yeah.
Probably even worse.
I don't know. I think Jokic is more sturdy.
I think he just bumps both of them right out of the way.
That's probably true. I mean, there's never been anyone like that anymore. All right. Well, I gave out a
Could you imagine KG yelling at Giannis, too, while he's trying to shoot free throws?
No,
wouldn't go well in Giannis's head.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to have a fun game tonight. That's kind of why I'm on the plus 7.5 here. I thought Tyler would join me, but he's on the opposite side. Probably won't end up being an RPB tag on there. So for those who watch the show, you can just, decide who you like more. The old experienced guy that's seen everything, or the young kid that just seems to fall into winning no matter what he does.
If I had to rate my best bet like on a 1 to 10 on confidence spread, it's like at like a 2 with the reverse jinx mojo rubbed all over it.
Yeah, I feel that way too. But it's just the chat, they just demand that you pick a side. I
can't bet Miami pregame and then watch them get blown out, and then it's like, well, that was a waste of time.
The fun thing about if you do like Miami plus the points, because they expect Boston to win, the live lines are going to be more generous to Miami early in the game. Do you see what I'm saying? Like a 2-0 lead's going to move it. Like, let's just say Boston scores the first basket. It's going to go to plus 8.5, but if Miami scores the first basket, it's not going to go to plus 6.5. Do you see my point?
It's going to stay right where it's at. Yep.
Yeah, so you're going to get if you like Miami and you want to get a couple extra points. But I don't know. I mean, it's Memorial Day. Maybe you want to get drunk. Maybe you want to, have a barbecue and not just sit there monitoring live lines and trying to get it in before they move. And
that's why I'm on Miami. It's like I just think the value is so strong at that plus 260. Like, I think it's so rare to get that kind of value because I think this is a 50-50 game, and obviously the odds are not reflective of that.
Pick a side, we the people, and don't give me no player performance double. Pick against the spread, right? You always do player performance doubles because you don't want to pick against the spread, but did you get on me? What's up with that? All right. JC, this is one of my favorite times of the show. It's when you give us words of wisdom. And if we the people picks a side and doesn't play a player performance double, right? Never picks against the spread. Just, Tatum double and win. Tatum 25 plus and win. The plus 7.5? Okay. Cool, because I think I'm going to join you on that. Tyler, you're going to be on Celtics Island here. How does that feel?
It feels great because then when we're all celebrating the Heat winning tonight, it'll be like I paid to watch the game on pay-per-view spread. I'll be happy. I'll get to go on Twitter and mess with all the Celtics fans. It'll be worth it.
That's how I felt when I lost that game 3 bet. You know how happy we were on the Lakers game 3? That was just like the wonderful pay-per-view. All right, JC. It's Memorial Day, so my guess is you have a special words of wisdom for the people.
Yeah. I mean, just shout out to troops. We appreciate you keeping this land of the free, home of the brave. So to everyone who served, everyone who's had family members serve, and especially those that know people who died in this service, we appreciate you. Country wouldn't be what it is without you. And as for my words of wisdoms, I got to go to the wise words of Mr. Epps, who said, shout out to all those who died in the service. I dive in her cervix.